Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is an account takeover of, I'd actually say it's kind of an early game account, just starting to transition into the mid game. So I've not done one on an account this young in a long time actually, so I'm quite excited to do it. We are only 46 days in, and we've got an early great haul like you would expect for this much time into the game. In terms of progression, we're actually just looking to try and progress dungeons and clan boss as much as we can on this takeover. So we're currently sitting at like level 7, stage 7, stage 8. This is the major ones. Stage 13, that's good. And stage 8. So I'm going to try and build teams. Hopefully one team that can deal with all of the dungeons, because we don't have resources to be doing tons and tons of teams. Fairly low on silver. Look at this 9 mil. You might say that's a lot of silver. It's a lot of silver unless I'd need to re-deer a ton of champions. So when you're deering, 9 mil can go like that. It literally just flies away. So we're going to be looking at dungeons, and then I'm also going to be looking at clan boss. Currently we're hitting hard. We're getting max chest on hard over the course of a day, and that is it. So what we're looking to do is transition into brutal. Let me just check that I'm right on that. I think we are. Yeah, or basically just to push the team as far as we can. That's the main thing. But basically, can we get ourselves up to a brutal clan boss on this takeover? Now, in terms of champs, I've been lucky to get a Skull Crusher in the recent event. So that's massively kind of changed the landscape of this account. We do have a Frozen Banshee Poisoner. We've got an Ultan who's one of the best decrease attacks in the game for clan boss. And we've got a Warlord who's also very good. So if I look through, what do we need? We need a lot of poison damage. A counter's going to help us. Got another poisoner here. So the other thing is, in terms of this level of account, how many have got masteries? 2, 3. You kind of have to roll with people that have got masteries to really kind of get the most out of your clan boss hits. So these two definitely stay in. And in terms of a poisoner, Steel Skull's going to be in. Steel Skull will be a poison and utility champ. Skull Crusher's going to come in because he's just going to give us an extra level of damage. And I think we bring Frozen Banshee in as the 5th. So a lot of poison, counter attack to get those poison ticks in more often, Ultan for decreased attack, and then healing and support from our Warlord. Now, as soon as you get into this sort of level of clan boss, guys, you should be trying to push for lifesteal gear on everyone. So we've got lifesteal gear here, there, not there, not there, and these probably aren't being used right now. In fact, let's just see who is being used. I think it's probably going to be Juliana. See if we get any juicy nuggets out of this. Not really. Okay. So who are we actually using right now? Yes, it's basically the team I said, but I would swap Juliana for the Frozen Banshee. Even though she's a 50, I think she's going to do more damage for us. Is that fair? If Juliana had masteries, I'd 100% keep her in. Let's just see. 888. Main thing I'm looking for is what's her defense number. So as a 5-star, 721. It's a bit low, actually. It's a bit low. So we'll keep Juliana in the mix, but the future of this account is definitely going to be Frozen Banshee. I'm going to be looking to increase speed, increase defense, all the while making sure we've got enough accuracy. Look at this, 35 accuracy. His main ability in Clan Boss is to extend debuffs. With that accuracy level, he's not going to extend anything. Accuracy here, speed, defense is okay. Accuracy's not as bad here. No speed at all. 0 speed added to this build. This one's not too bad. Could do with a bit more defense. And just to do a bit more speed. So we're going to revolutionize the builds for Clan Boss. And then we're going to see if we can't start slamming some dungeon content as well. Ideally with a similar team. So I can see Tyrell lurking there. He wants to come and play dungeons with us. We've got a Coronar who could come and play dungeons. So we've got some champs. let's get into gearing them. Okay, guys, everybody is geared. We've got 5 champs ready to hit the clan boss. And those same champs will be available for other dungeons if we need them. So Warlord has come in. I put an accuracy set on him plus lifesteal gear. Basically, anyone who needed accuracy to land a debuff has got 1 piece accuracy set, and then they've got lifesteal gear to supplement. So everybody's running between sort of 140 and 150 speed, roughly. All of them are topped to 100 accuracy where we need it. Some up to about 120. It's about as high as I managed to get it to. We're missing a ton of stuff like banners and that sort of thing. All of the bottom row of gear, the next step is to roll that to 16. That's the kind of next goal in terms of silver. We've got 1 piece at 16 here. Everything else is going to be 12s. Same here. Everything's 12s. And Skull Crusher, all 12s. So you can see what I've tried to do. It's pretty much get the speed up, get the accuracy up to the right levels. Once that's done, or whilst doing that, making sure that the main stat on the chest and the gloves is some form of defensive stat. So ideally defense, but in some cases HP, like you see there. Generally it's HP if their base defense is very low. One alternative to those builds is actually Juliana, because she gains speed through crit rate. So I've been looking for a couple of crit rate substats. However, accuracy is more important to me than a crit rate, so it kind of takes a little bit of a back seat. See here, we've got a very good defensive build here. Ultan's actually pretty tanky, way tankier than the rest of the team, but the rest will come on board once we get stuff like leveled up. So I think we're probably good to give stuff a run. Just thinking his defense, what are we at here? 2k. Just want to check a couple of things quickly. So what I try and do is get like a more balanced defense. We've got 1400, 1400, 1700. So actually Ultan is like massively above them, but he is going to be the lead, so he's going to take slams. That's not too bad. What I'd suggest is at this level of clan boss, you would get much better results if you manual compared to if you auto. We're going to try a brutal run first and just see if we can cope with brutal. So yeah, you'll get a much better set of results using manual when you're kind of coming into this level if you're not speed tuned and you're relying on cleanses and things like that. So before the clan boss has his turn, we get a counter attack up. Clan boss has his turn, and then we're going to get a full set of counters before he goes. That's really important to get my Skull Crusher fast enough to get that counter attack up. We're going to get the poisons on from Juliana. We'll go additional poisons here. Just going to go A1, try and extend them. Going to go A2 here and get some defense up for us. And obviously the lifesteal gear is important to try and get Skull Crusher coming back up. We get the decreased attack on from our Ultan, which is huge actually. It's really big for this for an account like this where we're trying to keep people alive. I think we're just going to heal up our Skull Crusher. I don't want to risk it. I'm going to put up my shields for the slam. If I was properly speed tuned, then that slam would actually land here. I've done it wrong. I've got increased defense here, so that's my bad. And all the time, we're just trying to get as much poison going on as we can, and we're trying to get Warlord to extend it. That's why we've got someone like a Warlord, coming in manual. It's just so much better. Anyway, I'm going to play this through. I'm going to do it completely manual right the way through and see what sort of damage we can get. Yeah, do that now. Okay, so we are coming up turn 28. That's pretty far into this fight. We're pretty much dead. But really good result. Really good result. 13 mil, first run out. And I made mistakes with the Skull Crusher timing. I'm going to run it again just to try and get rid of those mistakes and see where I end up then. But 13.3, first run. So we're 2 key and brutal from there. 2 key and brutal. And I think there's a bit more in this team. So I'm going to run it again, see what we hit here. And yeah, keep cracking on. Right, well, not actually that much different, but 11 mil still. Easy, 2 key, brutal, 24 versus 21. So that's basically jumped us on by a whole clan boss with 2 keys, which means that we can go back and farm up the previous clan boss as well. So you're starting to gain 2 clan bosses worth of damage out of one team. Just really by adding more speed, getting the accuracy levels up, and getting the defensive stats in a higher position. So good progress there. What we're going to do now is just get the teams ready to go and face the dungeons. We've got a couple of mil left, about 2.6 mil. The most important dungeons for this account right now are Dragon and Spider. So we just want to get ourselves into the mid game on those 2 different dungeons. In terms of kind of setups, well, we don't have a lot of choice. For Dragon, we're going to use the ones really that we've already built. So Juliana for poison damage, Steel Skull for poison, Warlord for protection, probably Skull Crusher as well. But we're just going to bring in someone like a Tyrell that's going to throw out decreased defense. Decreased defense is a massive debuff in this game, especially in dungeons. Maybe we're throwing a bit of Turvold as well, just for the shenanigans of it. He is a beast. I mean, actually, he probably could go into that clan boss team that we just ran. Yeah, he probably could replace maybe Juliana. If Steel Skull swapped for a better poisoner eventually, then Turvold could come into that clan boss team and wreak a bit of havoc. But anyway, I'm going to get these built up, and then we can go and run some dungeons. Okay, we have got some champions built for dungeons then. So we already had Warlord, already had Altan and Juliana and Steel Skull. What I've done is I've put some damage back into Aethel as our AoE nuker if we need her. I already had my Skull Crusher. I have built some accuracy and lots of speed into Tyrell. And a reasonable amount of defense for level 50. So he can do our drop defense. And I've got Apothecary really fast, 183. So he's going to be able to cycle us back through our abilities. Apothecary is brilliant in dungeons. Brilliant. Even at level 50, he does not need to be 60 to be great in dungeons, because all you need is some defensive gear, some crit rate, and some speed. So this is the person you invest your speed into to get back to your main abilities. So there's 2 dungeons we want to focus on, guys. It's Dragons and it's Spider, because that's where the majority of your early to mid game gear is coming from. And really what you want to be doing is trying to just push yourself as far through it as you can so that it's still possible to auto. Now, the team we just had there, maybe just come back in and I'll just show you that team again. You've got here, this kind of works, but you've got quite a few level 50s or lower level champions trying to take on now higher level dungeons. That doesn't really work with your damage. It works with your support play. So Apothecary coming in here as a support champion 50, that works. Your damage coming in at 50 does not work. So what I'd rather do is have... we don't have an aura there. He normally does have an aura. I guess he's not ascended enough. So what I'm going to do is bring in 2 support players at 50 and then some damage at 60. Who else was I going to bring in? Got to bring in a poison, so it's probably going to be Juliana. I think this is going to work. Also, you kind of just need to push yourself through some of these levels, which are negative affinity. And this is going to be tough because we've got four champs here that are the wrong affinity. And it might be that I can't do it with this setup. But these are the ones which are best for me. Quite often, if I get one which is a negative affinity, like a heavy negative like this, I'll just manual the fight. So I'll manual through to, a bit sort of later stages, just to get through it. Probably just and also what you should be trying to do is just look at their turn meter. Yellow bar's their turn meter. Just look at that and think, who should I attack next? Can I kill any of the ones that are about to go? If you can't, take somebody out of the game. But what I have got here is a turn meter drop if it lands, so we can just get somebody lower on turn meter. Make sure I keep my guys healthy all the time, and then I'm trying to pick someone off. Pick someone off, there we go. Pick someone else off, and then all of a sudden you've got a 5 versus 3 fight, and it becomes much easier to deal with. So look, I'm going to get this through to... I'll see if I can push through to the dragon, beat this stage, and then we'll see if we can get a couple more stages done as well. Here we go, guys. Slow and steady. Slow and steady gets us through the annoying affinity. Now, all of a sudden, our prospects look up because everything now is positive affinity. So it completely flips. Juliana, as I thought, is not that strong. People say to me, "Oh, why have you got it in for Juliana?" It's because she's weak. She's got poison, which we need for the dragon, but she is weak, and that poison does not come around quick enough. So for me, she still sits there as someone that's fairly poor in this game. But the other thing to be aware of at this level now is, I've built these guys for brutal clan boss. We built as much accuracy and speed into the builds as we can, but the further we go up in dungeons, the harder it is to land our debuffs. So basically, you want to be looking at your enemy's level, your dungeon level, times that by 10, and it'll give you a good idea of the amount of accuracy you should have. Now, we're coming into, stage 15 here, and we're running about 120 accuracy. It's a bit low. And we're going to struggle getting much further past 15 and keep landing our debuffs. So it's something that needs to be improved, which is why we also need Spider, because as soon as we start getting some banners on these guys, it'll be tons easier. And things like masteries really help with that as well. So at the moment, we've only got first couple of levels masteries on pretty much anyone who wasn't in that clan boss. Even most of the clan boss team didn't have full masteries. So there's some work to be done there. But you can see here, it's full auto. We're kind of working our way through. Warlord's doing a lot of work. He's putting up big shields for us. Apothecary's keeping us moving relatively fast. And as soon as we get decreased defense down there, it is. Alright, they've cleansed it off this time. But that's the move that enables you to start clearing stuff through quicker. So we're going to get through this stage. This stage is going to also be completely on farm. So stage 15 on farm's not a bad place to be. I'll see if I can get any further than this. Here we go then, 15 done. Let's keep going. See if I can do 16 as well. 15 was in like 5 minutes. You've got a 5-minute auto team there, which again is not bad. We're on to Void Affinity, so again the affinity is not bad on 16. So we're going to keep punching on, see if we can't crack 16 as well. Already though, you see the damage increase from 16. We can't. So just nuked us on 16. And that's because we've got 50s in here. 50s are just taking the pain now when you get to this sort of level. So it looks like we're going to be stuck on a 15 farm. 15 farm's not a bad place to be for an account as kind of young as this. That is the mid game, I'd say. Stage 15, brutal clan boss is kind of where you should be in your mid game. So that's about where we've landed. That's fine. Spider's the next challenge then. Can I do the same thing and kind of pick up the Spider team into the mid game? The minimum you want to do if you're farming gear, the minimum is to get yourself to stage 10. So you're farming 4 and 5 star gear and try and get yourself some 4 and 5 star banners going on. The optimum is to get to stage 13 where you're farming 4 to 6 star gear as your kind of level. So that's where I want to try and push it to. Can I get to 13 with this set? We are lacking a bit of AoE damage here. So Spider is about, certainly before stage 16, anything before 16 is about consistent AoE damage. And if we look at the champs which are available to us, as a 60, we've got only one AoE champ. And even if we duck down to 50s, we've got Coronar, Kale, just got Tyrell. So people think, I see we've got an HP burn champ in here. We're not at that stage. HP burn champ's going to come in about 5-6 stages time. So he's not ready for this yet. Anyway, let's do it. Let's build him up. Let's get it done. Right, so guys, this is the team I'm going to try. We've got counter attack, we've got AoE, we've got protection, speed, and big AoE. I don't know if it's enough damage. I don't know. We could do with maybe 1 or 2 more AoE damage dealers that are in there to nuke. We don't really have the options yet built out, so I figured I'd go with counter attack instead and make good use of Coronar using his kind of crazy ability. So this is where you'd throw your AoEs. And at level 9, you see how quickly the spiderlings die? That's why full AoE is better. Because, just get the decreased attack and defense out. Because basically they die so fast. So if you've got 5 champions all doing reasonable level of AoE damage, you just nuke every time. As long as you can do something to keep the spiders turn meter down, then you're absolutely fine. So I think we've got no issues here. I can probably auto actually. And I think this team is probably strong enough to get us through this level, maybe the next level or next couple of levels. We shall see. But yeah, it's really a case of, can Coronar keep the turn meter down, and have we got enough damage? Have we got enough damage and control at the same time? I'm going to run it through. I won't bore you watching it, but you can kind of see the approach. Yeah, so as I thought, we've done it. 4 minutes 30 odd. Not too bad. And I think the same team kind of just rolls through a couple more stages. So I'm going to do that. But I think we probably, as I said earlier, we wanted to get to minimum stage 10 on farm, which I think we've got. Can we do stage 13 on farm? I'm not sure we're quite there, but we're going to try. We're going to push through, and I'll show you the results. So we, just come off the screen. So we finished 10. We've got 10 on farm. I don't think this account's pushing past 10 because 10 was a struggle, but it's got us to the first minimal farm. What I would suggest here for PVM is just to start farming Spider overnight on auto clicker through BlueStacks. I use BlueStacks, very easy to do. Get yourself some 4 and 5 star gear and start to move the account on. So Dragon and Spider will get this account to a better spot, and you really need to be moving on to like 170 speed champs, 130, 140 minimum accuracy to be able to start pushing past that, and to really get another couple of AoE based champs up. So a 60 here would be amazing. A 60 here would be amazing. A 60 here would be amazing. And all of a sudden, this account will start to be able to fly through dungeon content. So guys, that's going to be the takeover done. I have moved Clan Boss on a whole level. We've got farm moved on in Dragon and Spider. I've been in Hades. I'll catch you later.